What's up everybody, Nibori here. Today we're going to be going over my Chimera building guide called Tribal Warfare. If you guys do not have some of these cards, I will have an alternative down in the description below so you guys won't miss out. Harvester Key, 3 strike tokens, health potion, brand of the Ironeater, 4 rust breakers, yes I said 4, Thorned Greenweave, and a spiked bone plate. But first off, we're going to start out with a Beastmaster's key. This will give you 2 harvester keys, 100 health, and 50% extra damage to minions in the jungle. Our first skill we're going to start off with is Spirit Regeneration. Each hit will give you health back per second as long as you keep hitting. That health regeneration will continue to come into play and you won't die in the jungle. This is extremely important in the beginning because of the early farm. Now, since we have a rampage in this match, I'm not going to be farming as hard as I could be, but we're going to be in and out of the jungle since we have 2 junglers. Eventually, rampage will get out of the jungle and we won't have to deal with it. Yes, you can solo red and blue buffs right now in the beginning. You'll never have to leave the jungle, which is amazing. As you can see here, the health regeneration goes up. Each hit I take, the more health regeneration you get per second. Now, as me and Rampage are currently working on the red buff here, I get the awesome idea of, hey Rampage, since we both have health regeneration at some sort, let's go over to the other team's jungle and steal the red. Hopefully we can run into somebody else. Let's make our way over here and see if we can find somebody over here. I'm gonna wait for Rampage, and I hear someone on the other side of this attacking the jungle minions. Who could it be? It's an enemy team Chimera. Let's jump on him and let's do some damage to him. We're doing awesome damage to him. Me and Rampage going in on him. He's gonna take this first loss here, and then we're gonna make our way to the red buff. We unfortunately had our Grim come in too late, but we did not need you, buddy. Go back to your lane, my friend. We see over here that red buff has not been taken, so we're going to go after this, and I'm actually going to give this red buff to Rampage. But shortly after, what seems to happen is, well, someone had the smart idea to come into the jungle after their teammates have died, and, well, who could it be? Turn to your right, sir. Turn to your right. Who is it? Oh, it's Twin Blast. What should we do? Well, let's go for it. He might have his rocket dash, which he does, and, well, Rampage jumps in, throws a rock at him, and I'm going to sneak up behind him, the body block, and use my Q skill for my 5 fast attacks and get that enemy slain. Now Iggy jumps in the fray, and he's like, ah, crap. Yep, you can't stop us, buddy. It's time for you. We get our 3rd kill of the match, 2 minutes and 45 seconds in. Let's make our way back to base and see what our next card is going to be, and I bet you can guess what it's going to be. That's right, Rust Breaker, and in this Rust Breaker, we're going to put a major strike, leaving us with 37.9 physical damage and 16 physical penetration. Now, one of the things I like to point out is I feel like junglers mostly forget about the black buff here in the middle. It's going to give you an extra CXP and XP, and it gives you black buff. So you can run over to the enemy team's harvesters and take them out really quick without them getting there in time for them to stop you from doing so. So we're going to make our way right over here to the harvester, and we're going to do 150 extra damage to harvesters. Also, this will do extra damage to anything that is not organic. Now that we have 9 points to spend, let's fill out our Rust Breaker with 2 more major strikes. Now we're going to pick up another Rust Breaker for extra damage and extra physical pen. But now we're going to get rid of our Beastmaster's Key. Now you can keep Beastmaster's Key as long or as little as you'd like, but here I want to do extra damage to enemies, so we're going to put another major strike in our Rust Breaker. This brings us to 128.8 physical damage and 32 physical penetration. Now you don't want to get rid of your Beastmaster's Key if you don't have at least the first 2 harvesters in the side of your jungle in the middle. Unfortunately, at this point, I did not realize that Rampage or I did not put up the harvester on the right side, so we're going to manage to go back to base after here in a little bit and get a harvester key because we do have that in this build just in case something like this happens or someone destroys your harvester. Shortly after, I was in the enemy team jungle stealing some of their camps, and I saw that there was a battle going on in middle. I see the enemy Chimera overextended here in the jungle, and we melt him really quick with our Q skill. Iggy was trying to attack one of our teammates. I was trying to get around this wall, but I couldn't get around the wall and Rampage's fat ass, but we jumped in with our ambush skill, which is our right click. We're going to get boxed in here by the enemy team Decker. When something like this happens, you always want to try to attack something so you can get your health regeneration started, and then you can jump right into the battle. I managed to get Twin Blast with my call skill and hit him for 440 damage, and baby, we are unstoppable. Let's get our ass back into the jungle. Shortly after, we're going to get up behind the enemy team's Murdoch and use our Unleash skill. This is going to do a fury of 5 attacks, and we do 108 damage consistently. Hit him with one last basic attack for 165 damage, and he's out of here. He had no option to do anything there. We snuck up behind him, did some nice damage to him, and he had no other choice but to take it. I see some action going on in the middle, so let's make our way over there. I see that Rampage is having some issues here with 3 enemies, so we're going to get right in here. Hopefully we can save him, but we cannot. He gets bodied. I take out the enemy team Chimera, but unfortunately, the enemy team Iggy pushes me back with his ultimate. If I were to stay in there and he didn't ult me, we would have got that kill, but let's make this safe route and get out of here. Let's fully upgrade our Rust Breaker with 2 more major strikes. Pick up that Harvester key that I was talking about so we can get that last Harvester on the right side mid. We can get some defense here, but we're going to go right in with a little bit more damage with another Rust Breaker. Since we have 2 points to spend, we're going to get a health potion and a strike token to get a little bit more damage and a little more sustainability in fights. We'll be sitting at a pretty 219.7 physical damage and 48 physical penetration. Oh, what do we got here? We have an unexpected victim here pushing our lane over here. I'm going to check the scoreboard real quick to see what items he has to make sure that I can take him toe to toe. We're going to do 153 damage on our Unleash skill and 215 damage on our basic attack without any abilities. He's going to get rocked real quickly, and we didn't really take too much damage, which is nice. And we got our Mega Streak for our 7th kill. Let's go! There's a team fight going here on right side. We're going to skip out on Decker and go right after the enemy team Chimera so he doesn't get away. Use our ambush skill and Unleash to take him out quick. We're going to go right after the Iggy as well and the Decker. We managed to get the final kills here. We killed all 3 of them. I didn't get anything else but an assist, but that's fantastic. Let's get it and let's move on to the next situation. But first, let's make our way back to base and get our upgrades since we have 15 points to spend. We're going to get 3 major strikes in our next Rust Breaker. Then we're going to delete our Harvester key since we don't need it anymore. We have a couple options with these 7 points. We can get another Rust Breaker or some defense items, which I'm going to get. I'm going to get a spiked bone plate here. Now you can put either a beta guard or a greater guard in here. They both have the same stats, so it doesn't matter. And we're going to put a regular guard in this. Now we're going to delete our strike token so we can put in our beta guard for that extra defense. This will leave us with 185.2 physical armor. And also we're at 280.3 physical damage. Now let's see what kind of damage you can do, and one of the combos that I like to use with Chimera. We're going to use Ambush to get in, use our Call skill ultimate, and we're going to try to body block him with our Unleash skill to do some maximum amount of damage. This should almost kill anybody that's squishy that's not a tank in one foul swoop of the ultimate and these abilities in this order. If you have a tank, it's just going to take a little bit longer, but you should be able to outlast any tank 1v1. Iggy thought he was safe from our last encounter, but I'm going to sneak up behind him. He has no clue I'm here, and we're going to use our Unleash skill to get rid of his health bar, and he's not going to live much longer. Shortly after, Decker uses her ultimate and corrals me in her ultimate, and I'm not able to get out to help my teammates. So, I just have to wait until the right moment and decide who I'm going to attack. I see that Grim and my other teammate over here is having an issue. I'm going to jump in with my ambush, get the last hit, take him out, and I'm going to use my Unleash and chase down Decker to get the next kill to bring us to 12 kills, 0 deaths, 5 assists. The dream is almost real. A no-death run with Chimera. Is it possible? Let's see if we can do it. Let's go back to base and finish our cards here. We're going to put a minor strike in our spiked bone plate here to finish that off. We're going to get a Thorned Greenweave, and we're going to put a beta barrier, and a minor strike in this. Next, we're going to get rid of our health potion, and you have 2 options here. You can either get another Rust Break with 3 minor peirce for that extra physical penetration if someone has extra armor, or you can go with Brand of the Ironeater for life leech. Now let's take this build to the test right here. We're going to get another Rust Breaker with this portion here. And let's see where we're at. We are 60 points in compared to the enemy team's highest player has 42. And this is huge. Even with another jungler, I'm still able to hit 60 card points before the enemy team can do so. Like I said, we're going to put some minor peirce here for this Rust Breaker. This will leave us with 356.1 physical damage and 112 physical penetration. Now let's see how much damage you can do with this much penetration and physical damage. We're going to call out the enemy team Twin Blast. We're going to hit him for 232 physical damage on our Unleash, a basic attack for 339, and we jump on him for an ambush, 273 damage. Boom! So let's go right back in here. We're going to sneak around Twin Blast yet again. And let's see what damage we're going to do on him now. It's going to be pretty consistent. 232 damage again. I missed my Unleash skill. Jump right back in with Ambush and get that kill. And shortly after, the enemy team surrendered. I hope everybody enjoyed my building guide for Chimera. If you'd like to see more, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them in the comment section. And like I said previously in the beginning, I will leave the alternative items in the below description so you guys can check that out if you don't have the same cards that I do. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later, and I hope that the CXP is always in your favor. Peace!